Hey YouTube, welcome to Zombie Nation. My name is Dan. And I want to talk a little bit today about digital currency. But first off, I've got my world famous red, green, and brown alligator Savinelli. And in it I am smoking a little bit of hobbit's weed. Digital currency, what is that? Well, basically what it means is they get rid of all your cash and coins, and you basically have a debit card. So your money from your employer gets sent right into your bank, kind of like a lot of people do already. And you just carry a little card around with you, like a debit card. You use that everywhere. There's no passing coins back and forth. There's no carrying around 500 pennies in your pocket to get rid of them. None of that crap. What a nuisance, man. So in that respect, this is going to be an awesome idea. And a lot of people are going to think that. They're going to think this is going to be great. Well, I want to tell you a couple things. There's a few negatives to this that I see. Wonder what you think. But hear me out. With digital currency, theoretically, a government can charge certain people more to buy particular items. Like if we elect a president and he's a Democrat, if you're a Republican, you're going to pay more for that gallon of milk than the Democrats do. Might not be much, 5-10 cents a gallon, but it adds up. Second thing, now everything you do, everywhere you go, no matter what you buy, the government knows what you're doing. Everything you buy, they know. A little bit of freedom eroded, huh? A little more, a little more, a little more. And to make it really far-fetched, say you owe the government a little bit of money. Not a lot, just a little, a few $100. And you're living check to check. Well, they can actually turn off your account, kill that card you got, and you can't buy anything until you pay them first. No cashing your check. Make sure your family gets fed first. They'll just take it. Then let's go to the banks for a minute. We've all dealt with banks, most of us have, and we know they're kind, friendly, upstanding citizens who have nothing but the best of intentions for all of us. They would never overcharge for anything. So, knowing that you have no cash is going to be what bankers to what having to have health insurance was for health insurance companies. It's like everybody said before health insurance went up, when Obamacare abomination passed. Now that everybody has to have healthcare costs are going to skyrocket. So, to open up an account, any kind of bank account, simple one, just to get your card usable, costs you $250, $500, $1,000, whatever the amount. So you scrounge that up, you open up your account. Now, because they have only your best interest in heart and in their mind, they're not thinking of ways to get more money out of you. They wouldn't dare do this thing called negative interest. What's negative interest? Well, let's say you make about $5,000 a month and you spend about $4,999 a month to keep your family alive, eating, housed. Well, if you don't keep an average balance of, say, $25,000 a month in that account, they're going to charge you to keep that account open. Could be a nickel, could be a dime, could be $1,000. I don't know. But I'm sure they wouldn't do that. I'm sure of it. They wouldn't do something like that. Then let's go to a thing called ESG. I want to talk more about that later, but ESG is environmental, sociological, and governance. It's a score, kind of like your credit score. You know how if you do certain things for your credit, it makes the credit score go up or down, all that kind of fun stuff. Well, you'll have an ESG rating, and it will go up and down. What did they rate you on? I don't know. Let's see, environmental. Let's say the government tells you need to buy an electric vehicle by 2035. Let's say you don't have that $40, $50, even $10,000 to buy a new vehicle. Government will probably say, okay, that's all right, but it's going to ding your environmental score. Every month you're driving that non-electrical car, you're going to be getting a ding on your credit score, or your ESG score. Sociological, kind of a social score. So if you don't belong to the right parties, perhaps, you get more dings on your ESG score. If you don't go to the right gatherings, maybe more dings. If you get a ding on Facebook, maybe another ding on your ESG score. You know, those fact checkers are really accurate. They make sure they check everything thoroughly. And governance. Well, again, theoretically, if you don't buy back the right government party, the one that's, you know, if you're behind the one that's not in charge, you may get a ding on your ESG score. What's all that mean? What's it matter? Well, it's going to affect the way you can borrow money. It may even affect one day the places you get a chance to move to, what kind of jobs you get. Let's say down the road the government gets a little more tyrannical. And they hear, well, my neighbor calls the government and says, hey, Dan here, which is me, I think he's a pinko commie bastard. They turn me in. Without the government doing any checks on me, just from hearsay, they can shut down my card. They can shut down my availability to get credit, my ability to do anything. Do you want to trust the banking system and our government with your future, with your kids, with your life, your livelihood, I guess I should say? I mean, theoretically, you go buy a $50,000 truck. If you voted for the wrong person, all of a sudden that's $65,000. You just donated $15,000 to the opposite party. That's to recover finances they had to spend to advertise to get their guy elected, or girl. So, just something to think about. More fun and games with the governments. Good old digital currency. Just remember, trusting the government can be dangerous. Like President Ronald Reagan said, the scariest words ever uttered in the English language are, I'm with the government. I'm here to help.